Hey friends, Jeremy Tank here, and I'm going to talk to you about brands today. Brands, branding, and marketing in specific. Because before we can get into a little bit more about my workshopping and how I help businesses and how we choose values and attributes and where we're building towards, we kind of have to understand the fundamentals of what we're doing, right? So first of all, a brand is not a logo. I think we all pretty much agree on that, but what gets confused is what is a brand, in terms of when you buy them at stores or when you look them up online, and exactly what the heck is a brand, right? From the perspective of author Marty Neumeier, a brand is the feeling that a customer gets when they work with your company, when they purchase your products, when they deal with the services, when they interface with your advertising and your websites and your apps and everything that surrounds your products and services. That's a whole lot of stuff. And all of it, when you're doing it intentionally, builds the brand. All of it builds that feeling inside someone when they look at you. They automatically know what to expect. They know what they're going to get from you, right? Seth Godin at one point said, if Nike decided to open up a hotel, you kind of can have a vague idea of what that hotel might look like, right? Because the Nike brand is so strong, and everything they've done from advertising to clothes to, just everything tells you, the direction that they're going to move towards. Now, people sometimes confuse the brand with branding. And the thing with branding, from my perspective, is that branding is everything that distinguishes your brand, your products, your services, your ideas in the marketplace. Because branding can be the logo. It can absolutely be colors. It can absolutely be fonts or typefaces. It can be architecture. It can be the music that you play. When I walked into Target the other day, I started tapping my feet with the rhythm, and I realized that all of their song selections are purposeful, or their channel selection is very purposeful, because the audio is part of the experience that builds their brand. For a lot of companies, internal decisions are part of the brand. How they make decisions, the partnerships that they make are part of the branding. Like, the partnerships determine who they're working with, why they're working with the different partners, and all of those things are unique to that company. So branding can be seen as something that is a differentiator. It's different between you and your nearest competitor or the farthest competitor. It's something that sets you apart as unique, which, if you start comparing all of those things in your company, there's a lot of points of differentiation that you can make. And Marty Neumeier in Zag says, anywhere you have the opportunity, if everybody's going one certain way and they're all zagging this way, you zig. You choose an opposite path and figure out how to make it work for you, because those points of differentiation are what help a company stand out and appear unique and different to consumers. And that's important because there's so much competition right now, there's so much noise in the market, that consumers frankly ignore a lot of what they hear and a lot of what they see because it just doesn't matter to them. Nothing stands out. And our primitive brains are wired to see the things that stand out, that might be dangerous to us or intriguing to us. We are programmed on a really basic level that we want to move closer to pleasure and further away from potential pain or disappointment or hurt, right? So we're always trying to move closer to things that we feel are good for us and further away from the things that we feel are bad for us. So if people are going through life and everything looks the same and your brand stands out and it helps them because it's different and it solves a particular problem and it's very specific, that is branding that is used to grab attention, and that's a really good thing. The last point I want to make is about marketing, because marketing is a lot of things, and a lot of it's a little bit confusing, but it's a lot like branding, okay? When you are branding something, you're looking for the differences in it. When you're doing marketing, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your image out into the world so that you can change someone's perspective from whatever they thought of you before or didn't think of you before, to the point that they all of a sudden start considering you as an option. When they consider you as an option, right, all of a sudden you can speak to them in a sort of different language because they get it and you get it, and you're kind of on the same level, and you start moving forward with that relationship. And marketing is this idea that, everything that you do when it goes out into the world, when it's an intentional thing, builds up an image that changes paradigms. It changes how people think. It changes how people react. That change, if you're listening to Seth Godin, marketing is the change agent. It goes out into the world and kind of makes people go, yeah, okay, right? Something new. Now, when you do that enough and you reinforce that with the service that you're providing, and you reinforce that with the products that you sell, and the ideas that you have, that starts to build the brand inside of them, the feelings that it is, okay? So there's the big things I kind of want you to take away from this is when you're building the brand, it's going to take time because people have to experience it through marketing. They have to experience it through your sales process. They have to experience it through your customer service process. So it takes time to build up. But you grab attention through good branding. And good branding is also internal as well as external because it's part of how you view the world as something different than other companies, than other people. So your branding is really unique to you, regardless of if you're in the same space as your competitors, which, if you've got competitors, then of course you're in the same space. But you can always approach something differently than them. And when you do that, you stand out differently. And then when you market with that, when you tell people, look, they do it this way, we do it this way. We think it's better because, and then name a reason. Because is a very powerful, influential anchor. It justifies whatever reason that is. And it's sort of this tool you can use to say, here's why we're different. It absolutely convinces people that you know what you're talking about because you give a reason behind it. So that's our differences in there today. How much time do we have left? We've got about a minute and a half left. So I want to take this time to say, if this content's interesting to you, if you enjoyed it, if you want to learn more about this stuff, absolutely reach out to me, Jeremy at thinktankcreative.studio. I am happy to answer questions. I work generally in the health and wellness field, but I help anybody that reaches out to me. I love doing business brainstorming and workshops to kind of figure out, what a brand is and how to help people. In fact, I've got a workshop coming up on September 12th from 6 to 8 p.m. at InSpark in Linwood, InSpark Co-working in Linwood. And we're actually going to be sitting down with a group of 10 different business people, business owners, business leaders, and what we're going to do is create a positioning statement for their brands. Now, a positioning statement is sort of like, if you know where your brand wants to go, if you know that people are going to have a reception for that one way or the other, they're going to judge it, sort of like a first, people judge on first meeting, right? If you know that's going to happen anyway, why not craft the image that you want to craft? Why not project what you want to be? Well, that's sort of what brand positioning is. It's saying, I know that I want to build this type of brand, and I want to support it by choosing the direction that that brand exists in. Now, that carries through all through branding and through marketing. So when we're sitting down with this group of people, we are going to help them find a brand position that they can own, that is different than other people, that is unique to them, that is emotional, because brand is an emotional thing, right? It's how people feel about it. Or if you're Jeff Bezos, what did he say? It's what people say about you when you're not in the room, right? So, that's like, gosh, if you get that right, we're out of time. If you get that right, then it's super powerful for all of your messaging, all your branding, all your marketing, and that's what you can put into the world and people resonate with it. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and if you have any questions, just look me up online. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.